Warhaven is a free-to-play PvP medieval fantasy combat game where two teams of 16 players battle it out in various maps to control flags and gain victory. Players can queue up with up to 3 others to form a 4-man squadron and select characters to play in that game. As you play throughout the game, gain points and be able to unlock an ultimate form called an Immortal, a powerful class that lasts a short time but is able to turn the tide of war. Warhaven is developed and published by everyone's favorite developer, Nexon. The gameplay feels very much like a fusion of For Honor and Chivalry. Each character has its own unique auto attack that differs on damage, speed, and some slight mechanics. Where you hit a person matters and the angle of which you block something matters as well. Beyond that, each class gets 2 abilities, often one being some type of guard break, and you go at it. While this may not seem like a huge difference, the classes do very much feel unique and different than one another. Now I'll get more into combat later on in the video. For now, let's talk about the game modes. The game has one general type of mode, at least it did for the playtest I did, as it seems there will be other modes beyond this in the future. The game mode I played was a form of Dominion, where there is a set number of control points and 2 teams fight over them. Depending on the map will determine the number of control points, but it seems to be either 1 or 3. When your team captures the singular point, or at least 2 of the 3 points, then your progress bar goes up until you get to 99%. When you get to 99%, there is an overtime mechanic that gives the losing side the chance to take control and hold you there for them to win. Otherwise, you win. Beyond the main objectives of control points, there are usually secondary objectives you can fight over that will assist you in the main objective. These entail a respawn point or a cannon. The respawn point will be close to the control point and gives your team the chance to respawn closer to continue fighting for it, compared to the usual respawn point, which can be a bit far away. The cannon allows the player to hop in it and fire a large area of effect blast that can one-shot many classes if not brutally hurt them, which can mean the difference for your team if they are fighting over a control point. As you battle, you gain personal points and fill up a bar. When your personal bar gets to 100, you can go into an immortal character, an ultimate power for swaying the tides of battle. The immortals are deadly and incredibly powerful, but they don't last forever, and you have to use that power up wisely. The current immortals are Martyr, a close combat fiend that will slice you down quickly, Raven, a long-ranged mage, Hoet, a sword mage who specializes as shielding and resurrecting teammates, and then Darkgate, a soldier on horseback that can ride around with incredible mobility. There's a few other mechanics such as freezing a point with relic points and such, but I'm not going to get too deep into that. As of now, you hop into a match and fight on one of the many maps to win the battle. So let's talk about combat though, as that's the big thing many people are curious about. As mentioned before, combat will depend on what type of class you play. As of now, the following classes are available. Blade, your universal swordsman, a very simple class that can still pack a punch. Your attacks are not the fastest nor the slowest. You have a nice knock-up ability that can combo well and average HP overall. Everything is quite in the middle of the high to low spectrum of stats here. Spike, your spear class that excels at keeping enemies at range to poke them down. With this class comes an option to deliver a flurry of long-range melee thrusts or the parry against those trying to get on top of you. Warhammer, my personal favorite class. You grab a big hammer and smash them enemies to pieces. This class excels as slamming the ground, disrupting enemies in an area, or knocking them out of their defensive stance. Don't think this class is just CC, as a fully charged auto attack can one-shot or near one-shot anyone. Guardian, the tank class that brings a lot of health with a big shield. They are menaces to fight against with their high HP if you do get a hit, otherwise they just sit behind their beefy shield, make them really hard if not impossible to get rid of without a good combination. Hush, the classic assassin class that has some intense mechanics. For those looking to jump on the lone enemies or quickly eliminate them, this class is for you. And Smoke, the staple healer class. This one is all about being hard to hit with teleporting around and knocking enemies back while keeping their allies alive. Depending on what class you fight in will determine how the combat goes. The combat itself, however, is in a decent spot. Just like similar games, matchups can mean a lot, and expressing your skill on a micro level is vital as you attempt to eliminate enemies. It feels good to have another combat game where decisions on this micro level matter a lot, and the best fights are not 16 versus 16, but instead the smaller scale 3v3s or 4v4s you get over side objectives in my opinion. Here you can really use your abilities well to dash combos, block devastating attacks, and dish out damage. A major flaw of the game and the combat in it, however, is when you do get into those large-scale battles, it's very easy to get stuck in a chain of attacks from enemies with no chance of stopping them. Winning a 1v2 or 1v3, while doable, is extremely hard, and anything more than that, in my opinion, is pretty near impossible. The combat definitely needs more love and fine-tuning, as there can be some things left to be desired, but overall, it is in an enjoyable state. I would not say it is as complex as For Honor, but it's a good follow-up that if they continue to improve throughout these tests, then I will be happy. Beyond the actual matches, there are a few different ways to mark your progress. There's the World Pass, which as you progress, you'll join a faction. Then you use your score from a previous match in your match history as a power level. You'll engage in various patrols and wars to take territories by fighting as a pawn with this power level to see if you beat the other pawns, and if you do, you can gain additional rewards. There are also leagues where you put in a pool with 29 other players. You gain event tickets each day to participate and gain points based on if you win or lose your matches. The top players on the leaderboard in this group gain bonus rewards as a fun way to just compete further. With this being said, let's talk about the Nexon Problem. Now, all of this sets a really high quality game. If the combat improves and there's more fine-tuning to how the map plays out, then I could see this game doing very well. However, there is an obvious problem, and that's the Nexon Problem. Nexon is the team behind this game, and they have a rough reputation for a reason, especially in regards to pay-to-win mechanics. Could this game go the pay-to-win route? Absolutely, and if it does, I'll probably stop playing. However, assuming there will be some type of pay-to-win mechanic, I assume it would be with the World Pass system and not in the actual gameplay, but maybe that's just me being optimistic. We'll have to see if the Nexon Problem makes this rough or not. Overall, I can see this game doing well. It has a ton of potential. If you like these medieval PvP games like Chivalry, Mordhau, and For Honor, then this game could be up your alley. Its successes will be based on if they can elevate the quality of the combat or not, and if they market better, quite frankly. However, things are looking good for Warhaven, so we'll have to stay hopeful. If you guys enjoyed this content, of course, like and subscribe, and check me out twitch.tv/Redlaf, where I'll be playing this game and many others. And until next time, peace out.